25 years. Your home for Minnesota Twins baseball.
There are moms who couldn't imagine spending their big day anywhere else but Target Field watching the Minnesota Twins, who will be in the pink today to support breast cancer awareness. For the Twins, Scott Diamond figures to give the Twins a good chance at winning the series finale today. The 26-year-old lefty, the ace of the staff last season, determined to recapture that title this year. And for the Baltimore Orioles, it's another southpaw, Waylon Chen, 1-0 in his career against the Twins. He will face the Twins team today that's been performing at a very, very high level at the plate in the month of May. Tom Hanneman, Tim Lauder ready for the series finale, Twins and Orioles today. And yes, the Twins performing at an extremely high level. Only Tampa Bay has scored more runs in Major League Baseball in the month of May. Twins have averaged nearly 6.5 runs a game in the month. As a result, they've won 6 of 10 games. And much of the muscle, Tim, has been provided by the M&M boys.
Tom, there's Hot Pink, and then there's Joe Mauer. He is absolutely scorching the ball all over the ballpark. He's hitting it hard. He's hitting it right on the button. And he has the ability to take it even higher because this young man can flat out hit. And then there's Justin Morneau, who is also on a hot streak of his own. Pitchers are finding that pitching him on the outside half of the plate isn't working. They're going to have to make some adjustments, and when they do, you might see this guy hit a few balls up on the plaza. They're both hot, both leading their team.
Up next, Dick and Bert preview today's Twins starter. It's a perfect fit on Mother's Day. After all, diamonds are a girl's bet. Well, you know. It's the Twins and Orioles coming up next on Fox Sports North.
Fox Sports North is presented by Northland Ford. Visit northlandford.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. And by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards.
She's always been a big part of my life and my career. It's funny to this day, she still can't watch me pitch on TV. So when I come in the game, she all of a sudden thinks of something to do so she can leave the room.
My mom might be one of my biggest fans, and sometimes she used to get a little too engrossed in the games, and she'd be the mom that you could hear from a mile away.
You know, she's the best woman in my life, and she's put me in this, able to, give me so much and be able to say that she's my loving mother. Definitely means a lot to me.
I want to wish my mom, Jan, a happy Mother's Day. Also my grandmother, Lynette, happy Mother's Day. Love you both. Mwah.
Sons and daughters everywhere honoring their mothers today, and happy Mother's Day from the Twins broadcast booth.
Yes, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
And the Twins are hoping to win on Mother's Day and win their second series in as many tries against a really good Baltimore Oriole team, and it's Scott Diamond going for the Twins today.
Well, Scott Diamond has been red hot, making his sixth start, his first start against the Orioles, but over his last three starts, Scott Diamond 3-1, very good earned run average. He's coming off probably his best outing, his last outing at Fenway Park. Twins have won 4 out of the last 5 ball games. Scott Diamond started that little streak for the Twins, and last time Scott Diamond faced the Baltimore Orioles last year here, he won the ball game 19-7.
The Twins this year have shown some backbone as they've rebounded from some tough losses already this year, and this afternoon at Target Field, they'll go for a series win against the Orioles. Middle of the Twins lineup having a very productive month of May. Joe and Justin combined hitting almost 400. That's one of the reasons why the Twins are a game above the 500 mark.
Just get on base. These guys will knock you in. Hopefully that'll happen here this afternoon.
As the schedule dictates, today on May 12th, the Twins and Orioles will face each other for the last time this year. The Twins took 2 out of 3 in Baltimore. Buck Showalter's team has only lost 3 series all year long. And he's had the upper hand on Ron Gardenhire managing the Orioles. The Orioles typically play very well here at Target Field. And here's the Menards batting order for the season series finale. Nick Markakis, followed by Manny Machado, Adam Jones, Chris Davis, Matt Wieters, Steve Pearce, J.J. Hardy, Alexi Casilla, and Chris Snyder.
And then it'll be Scott Diamond on the mound. 3 wins, 2 losses. Very good ERA, making his 6th start. And we talked about it in the open. Coming off his best outing of the season last Tuesday at Fenway Park. The Twins won that ball game 6-1. 7 shutout innings for Scott Diamond, making his 2nd career start against the Baltimore Orioles.
The Northland Ford defense for the Twins has Josh Willingham back in left field, Wilkin Ramirez in center, Chris Parmalee in right, Trevor Plouffe, Eduardo Escobar, Brian Dozier, Justin Morneau. Ryan Doumit matched up very well with Scott Diamond in Boston. Scott Diamond singled him out for the great job he did behind the plate, so he's back there again. And then behind Ryan Doumit, Marvin Hudson with Jerry Meals at first, Bruce Dreckman at second, Gary Darling at third. A beautiful, clear day. If you don't mind the temperatures in the 50s, this is a perfect day for baseball. If you mind temperatures in the 50s, you probably don't live in this neck of the woods anyway. Check swing strike.
I'll tell you what, sometimes there's a chemistry that's formed between a pitcher and a catcher. And, one thing Ryan Doumit has been able to do and Scott Diamond is have that chemistry. They both work very well together. This is the 5th time in 6 starts that Ryan Doumit has been behind the plate. So, I think every pitcher you think of, I always think of Steve Carlton and Tim McCarver. They were every time Carlton started, Tim McCarver was behind the plate.
2-1.
What you'll see from Scott Diamond is not overpowering stuff. Tim Laudner talked about it, in the pregame. A guy that has excellent control. Only 3 walks for Scott Diamond in 30 innings pitched so far this year.
And Markakis slaps one to left field, a base hit. Willingham backhands it and fires it in. It's a leadoff single. Diamond gave up some singles, 1 each in the first 3 innings, then didn't give up the Red Sox anything after that.
15 straight outs after that. Again, keeping the ball down, hopefully getting some double plays, which he did a lot of last year. 26 double plays behind him in 27 starts. 4 so far this year, this being his 6th start. And that's a big part of Diamond's game. He's not going to strike out a lot of guys, but he's going to make the opponent put the ball in play.
So in his last start against the Red Sox, he gave up a leadoff single to Jacoby Ellsbury, got a fly ball, a Pedroia ground ball double play. Red Sox got 3 leadoff hits in each of the first 3 innings. But Diamond never allowed a runner as far as second base in his 7 innings of work.
Yeah, 96 pitches, 68 of those were strikes.
Up and away, and it's 2-0. See a lot of pink today. It's a brand name, but the Under Armour, the underwear, long sleeves that the players wear, cleats, bats, wristbands.
All for mommy.
2-0 to Manny Machado. Fouled away, 2-1.
Well, this Oriole ball club, they have a very good hitting ball club. 18 hits 2 nights ago. Here on Friday night against the Twins pitching staff, and 12 hits yesterday. Machado, a big part of that. He comes in with an average at .323.
Two and one for the Oriole third baseman. And a check of the runner at first. Diamond does a good job of that. Teams typically don't run much against him.
Yeah, left-handers have the advantage. They can pick up that right leg and hold it for a split second. And, Markakis is not a base stealer anyway. But you just want to keep him closer to the bag, maybe to help turn a double play.
And another base hit. So Machado drives a single to left. And the Orioles get a runner to second base, something the Red Sox were unable to do. First and second, nobody out for Adam Jones.
Yeah, Machado, that's his 7th hit already in this series. This is the 3rd game of that 3-game series. Ball left up, Machado lining it into left field.
So now Adam Jones. You have Machado hitting .323 coming into the game. Jones hitting .323. Davis .315 with a lot of power. Pitch is up. Ball 1.
Jones in his 6th season with the Orioles, a 2-time American League All-Star in 2009 and last year. He's won a couple Gold Gloves out in center field.
And Diamond falls behind Jones 2-0.
Pretty good trade the Orioles made back in 2008 when they traded Eric Bedard to the Seattle Mariners and got Adam Jones.
Popped up. Morneau comes over near the Twins dugout, and it's out of play.
So that would be an out in Oakland right there.
It might have been an out in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
2-1. And you say that, of course, it is a great trade, or was a great trade for the Orioles. Now you look at the Mariners, and what have they been lacking for the last few years? A good hitting outfielder. This guy was it, and they gave him up.
Yeah, he was a Mariners #1 pick back in 2003 out of Southern California.
2-1, and Diamond with an inside look at second base. Twins lost the opener in Baltimore, first road series of the year. Then they won the next 2, and they're trying to duplicate that feat here in this 3-game series.
Diamond's been red hot on the road. He's looking for his first win here at Target Field. This is his 3rd start. There we go. Let's turn it.
Plouffe to second, relay to first, double play. Nicely started by Plouffe. Backhanding a hot ground ball, and the Twins go around the horn.
Yeah, what helps this right here, because Jones hit the ball very sharply. He's pretty quick from home to first base. But this ball, like you mentioned, Dick, hit very sharply. Backhanded by Plouffe. Good feed over to Dozier. Good feed over to Morneau for a big double play here in the 1st inning.
And we've seen Dozier do that before. Now the throw was low, but Dozier at second base doing what Cal Ripken of the Orioles did all the time. When he'd come across the bag, he'd submarine that throw to first. Make sure that the runner got down. Here's a big swing and a miss by Davis.
You know, and Dozier's kind of new at second. Remember, you know, this was really his first year getting to play second, you know, on a regular basis. And you want to have that reputation that every time that double play comes, that I'm going to go underarm more or less, you better get out of the way, or you're going to get one hit right between the eyes.
Did anyone ever even make contact with Ripken at second base?
No, you knew as a runner going down to second that if they throw like that, you better get down or you better veer off toward right field. And you saw quick that Machado got down.
1-1 to Chris Davis. And up around the hands, 2-1.
And that's what Diamond does so well, too. He really does a good job of working both sides of the plate. You know, Ryan Doman said, catching Diamond in that 7 shutout innings, he said, I could have been sitting on a rocking chair. If I sat, you know, outside, that ball's going to be outside, just like that. And that's how you make that 17-inch plate, home plate, become a 23-inch plate throughout the ball game. As long as you hit your spots, we saw it with Greg Maddux when, you know, him and Tom Glavine, they would work that corner of the plate. But boy, if you can hit that catcher's glove on a regular basis, that plate will expand.
Fly to center, and a 3-0 pitch hammered out by Davis. Davis had faced Diamond 3 times. Diamond had struck him out 3 times, but he fell behind, and the power-hitting first baseman got green-lighted and clubbed a 2-run
home run number 11 for Chris Davis, having a fantastic year. Last year he had a career year, but he wants to even do better this year. A little cut fastball, slider, and Davis showing off his power puts the Orioles up 2-0. So the double play comes in handy, but Davis ruins it by getting the 2-run homer.
Wieters fouls it back.
For Diamond, only his 3rd home run allowed, this being his 6th start of the year.
Last night, the Orioles got 3 in the first. Twins came back to win it. There's a strike on the outside corner. 0-2. 36 runs batted in now for Davis. Sandwiched by a couple of Tigers. That one hit to center. And Ramirez retreating to end the inning. 3 hits and a couple of runs for the Orioles in the top of the first. Two to nothing. Ron Gardenhire hoping that this long homestand for the Twins, 3-game series, will propel the Twins even higher up above the 500 mark. The Menards batting order for this series finale: Brian Dozier leading things off. The Twins DHing their regular catcher as well, Bauer. Then Josh Willingham, Justin Morneau, Ryan Doman, Trevor Plouffe, Chris Parmelee, Wilkin Ramirez, and Eduardo Escobar.
And Waylon Chin on the mound for the Baltimore Orioles, making his 8th start. Very good, 3.40 ERA. He defeated the Twins in his only start. He faced the Twins here last year. He beat the Twins 4-3. He has not had a lot of run support this year, so the 2 runs that the Orioles put on the board
that should be
at the top of the first, hopefully that's all he's going to get.
Okay.
But Chin, a left-hander from Taiwan. He's the first Taiwanese player to be in the Baltimore Oriole major leagues. Pretty good fastball. They mix in a breaking ball and a changeup.
Ryan Dozier leading things off. He takes up an away ball 1. Dozier with a big 2-run double in the game last night. And he takes a strike, 1-1.
A fastball there clocked at 90 here at Target Field. Yeah, that was a big 2-run double by Dozier yesterday. That tied the game at 4 apiece, and then later in the inning, Justin put the Twins up by a couple runs with that 2-run single. Chin, 27 years old, just signed last year in January with the Orioles. He was their most consistent starter last year. Won 12 ball games.
They're only
32 starts.
The only pitcher who won double digits in ball games last year. The only pitcher who qualified for the ERA title, 162 innings pitched over the season or more. 3-1, and a strike 3-2. Mauer will hit next.
Yeah, Chin last year worked 192 2/3 innings, 57 walks, 154 strikeouts. So pretty good control.
Fouled back. Northland Ford defense for the Orioles. Steve Pearson left. Adam Jones in center. Nick Markakis in right. Machado, Hardy, Casilla, Davis, the infielder. Chris Snyder behind the plate.
Yeah, very good defense for the Orioles. Only 11 errors made by the defense of the Orioles.
This one hit a long way foul. Now, I'm assuming that through baseball, your world travels have taken you to Taiwan.
Well, we were there for the WBC.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we spent about a week in Taiwan. Very, very nice city. They love their scooters over there. I'll tell you that. There were more.
I remember the
scooters
picture
than
you
vehicles.
sent out on Twitter.
Yeah, everybody has a scooter. Great way to get around town. We had a great experience there, and the Dutch team ended up winning round 1 and advanced to Japan after that.
And Dozier with a good opening at bat, dropping a single into center field. And that'll bring up Joe Mauer, who's really been on a tear. The second hot streak of this young season.
Well, Mauer, yeah, you're right. A lot of extra base hits, a lot of doubles for Joe Mauer on that 10-game hitting streak. And he's hitting the ball all over the ballpark. Last night, Mauer getting a pitch up. That's a base hit, and then later a double to right center, and then typical Joe Mauer base hit to left field. 3 hits again for Joe, hitting at .333.
And now Mauer with Dozier aboard. Outside, ball 1. Now, other than the time you spent in his native country, you know what else you have in common with Wei Yin Chen?
What is that?
He gave up a home run to the first major league batter he faced.
Oh, did he? Good for him.
Derek Jeter got him last year in his Orioles debut. Just off the plate, 2-0. And it was, refresh my memory, who hit you, who took you deep?
Lee May.
Lee May.
Left-handed hitter. With the Washington Senators at that time, 1970, June 5th, 1970. But we went on to win that ball game 2-1, which is a day I'll never forget. Ron Peronowski pitched the last 2 innings, picked up the save.
3-0 to Mauer with Willingham on deck.
Did Chin win his first game after giving up that home run to the Yankees, to Derek Jeter?
Now you're going to make me look it up.
Yeah.
He began his major league career 4-0.
Well, maybe he.
Yeah, I don't know. It caught my eye that he gave up a home run to the first batter he faced. And I thought, now who else do I know that gave up a home run to the first batter? 3-0.
Raising my hand again.
And Mauer takes a strike. It was a remarkable year for the Orioles. They won 93 games. And when you think of Baltimore teams winning that many games, you think of a rock-solid, dominant starting rotation, and theirs was anything but. They got wins from 19 different players. Only one guy won 10 or more, and that was Chen. 3-1 to Mauer. And at the knees, another full count. So the Twins very patient here with Chen. Dozier worked the count full before dropping a single to center. And now the count's full to Mauer.
Yeah, Dozier pretty good speed at first base. Let's see if Ron Gardenhire has Dozier taking off here on a 3-2 pitch.
Saw the Twins do this against Anibal Sanchez of the Tigers in Detroit. Just made him work, made him throw more than 40 pitches in the first inning. Runner goes. Mauer swings through it, and Dozier is out at second. So strike him out, throw him out. And that takes care of the first 2 outs of the inning.
Yeah, pitch a little bit up in the strike zone right there. Joe swung through it. Dozier trying to steal a base. And again, against a lefty, you don't get the same type of jump. Wow, pretty good fastball right there. And Chris Snyder, good throw. And Hardy makes the tag put out at second base.
Now with the bases empty, Josh Willingham held out of the lineup yesterday, and he takes strike 1. Willingham's average plummeting down to 208. getting a day off yesterday. He's been hit by pitches 5 times, and 1 time in Boston that got him on the wrist. On his right hand, right below the base of the hand. And Josh said that's not why I'm not hitting. He's just in a bit of a funk right now.
Well, a guy like Willingham's going to be streaky. You know, we've seen him even last year. I mean, he would get hot and then he'd cool down a little bit and then he'd get hot again. Oh, he's just cool right now.
Foul tip. Snyder hangs on, and the Twins are done in the first.
As we head to the second, Scott Diamond is off to a great start this season, and there's no question it has something to do with the work he puts in off the mound. Ron Gardenhire says he is really impressed with how well Diamond prepares for each hitter. He says normally the catcher runs the pregame meetings between him and the pitcher, but not when it's Diamond. He runs the show. He knows what he wants, and Ryan Domick can attest to that. He told me he really enjoys catching Diamond and says no one is more prepared than Scotty.
Well, thank you, Jamie.
Hey, this is your livelihood. Why would you not take a lot of pride in how you're going to go about your business? You do sit down with that catcher before your appearance in a ball game as a starter, and you want to go over each hitter, and you almost visualize what might happen throughout the game and how you're going to get that next guy out if somebody gets a base hit. Now you have to go out and execute it.
2 strikes to Pierce.
That's one thing I probably missed, Dick, is that preparation of going into a ball game, of getting that lineup before the game even starts. If it's a 7 o'clock game, at 4 o'clock, or whenever they post a lineup, I always looked at it and I thought, okay, what happens here? Well, who's hot? Who's not hot? How do I get out of a situation? So you almost play the game in your mind before you even go out to the bullpen, and then you try to find out what kind of stuff you have, and then you find out during a ball game, what will that umpire give me? Will he give me more away than in? There's so many elements that go into getting ready to make a major league starter or any start.
1 down. J.J. Hardy will bat. And the first pitch up and away, ball 1.
Hardy, of course, with the Twins in 2010 in his 3rd season with the Orioles.
Yeah, solid single to left. So the Orioles with 4 quick hits against Scott Diamond. And that'll bring up Alexi Casilla. When you join the Twins season ticket family this year, you'll be hitting the sweet spot. Purchase any of the Twins season ticket packages and receive 10% off food, beverage, and merchandise bought at Target Field. Call 800-33-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com to check out the options, learn about the cool benefits that come along with Twin season tickets. Number 8 batter, Alexi Casilla. And Chris Snyder. Strike one. Diamond more than most, I think. I mean, every pitcher, I'm sure, prepares, every starting pitcher. But he tends to dissect players at bats and studies, I think, more than most do. Carl Pavano is that way. He could watch somebody from the dugout, watch their swings, their stance, and figure out in his own mind, even on the days he wasn't pitching, what he would do to that batter in that at bat with that count.
Yeah, where do they stand in the box? Do they move around in the box? Some hitters, will move. If you keep pitching them away, they'll creep closer to the box or to home plate.
2 strikes.
And you can see that maybe from one at bat to another at bat if you're really observant out there. And you look at the hitter, where he's in the box. What kind of swing did he have on that fastball? Did he foul that fastball off, over the dugout if you're a right-handed hitter? That means maybe you're a little bit late. So you can see a little bit with an open stance as a right-handed hitter.
And a nubber. Doman will have to hurry. And threw it right over the helmet of Casilla. Dangerous play, both for injury and deflection purposes. Casilla is retired and Hardy goes to second.
Tell you what, this is a tough play as a catcher because Casilla, that ball had a lot of topspin. That ball kept rolling out toward the pitcher's mound. And a nice reaction by Justin, having to get that ball as quick as he can and get that glove out of the way as Casilla runs right past him.
Chris Snyder, the batter, with a runner at second and 2 down. Snyder on the season hitless in 4 at bats.
Yeah, he's a newcomer to the Oriole organization. He got traded in late April to the Orioles from the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, where he was down in Salt Lake City, their AAA affiliate. Snyder, a journeyman catcher, the backup catcher here to Matt Wieters.
Strike one.
Not much of a major league hitter, a .225 career hitter.
Taylor Teagarden, the expected backup catcher, but he's got a left thumb injury and is on the disabled list.
Yeah, that's why they went out and ended up trading for Chris Snyder.
That's a base hit to left. Hardy is going to be waved around. Willingham's throw to the plate. Not in time, and it's 3-0 Baltimore. So Snyder's first hit for the Orioles drives in a run, and it's a big 2-out hit, and the Orioles have 3 runs on the board, and all 3 runs driven in with a 2-out hit.
We'll take a look again. Look at the pitch down in the zone. Snyder, who has 77 major league home runs, got some power. And with 2 outs, Hardy off with a crack of the bat. And he scores the 3rd run for the Orioles.
You may have heard in the background in the Oriole dugout the first hit this year for an Oriole backup catcher. Teagarden was 0 for 13. Snyder 0 for 4, and now a big 2-out hit, making it 3-0. Down low, ball 1. First time through the batting order, and Diamond, uncharacteristically, has given up 5 hits and 3 runs. Here's Markakis, slapped a single to left to start the ball game. This one driven to right. Harmony chasing it. Playing the bounce. Rounding third. Snyder is heading home. And he is out at the plate. Harmony to Dozier. To Doman. And the runner is cut down at the plate. And it's 3-0 Baltimore. Nice relay here by the Twins, outfield and infield.
Watch Parmalee realizing he can't get it. He has to play the first hop. Gets it into Dozier. Look at Escobar right there. Escobar, I'm sure, yelling at him, saying, home, home, home. Dozier didn't even think twice about maybe where he was going to go with this ball. Spins, makes a nice one-hop throw to Domit, and then Domit tagging out Snyder. So a nice relay by the Minnesota Twins.
Parmalee has played some great outfield for the Twins. Starts a relay that guns down another runner at the plate, but the Orioles have scored 3 times. Morneau, Domit, and Plouffe will hit here in the second against Wei-Yin Chen. Up and in, ball 1.
Well, not only a good relay, remember that catch Parmalee made last night, too. Fantastic catch. See if the Twins can get back into the ball game here. Down 3-0.
Got them right where they want them. That's what happened last night. 2-0. Morneau has seen the average not trickle upward, but spike upward to 283. He's had a great month of May so far. Still looking for his first home run this month. That was the swing he hoped to hit it with.
Chin, they say his fastball sneaky fast. Very slow delivery, but that ball kind of jumps at you a little bit. I think we saw that in the at-bat with Mauer and that last swing by Morneau.
2-2. Morneau, Domit, and Plouffe. Pounded foul. Friday night, the Twins jumped out in front 6-0. Last night, the Orioles jumped out in front 3-0. Early leads haven't meant a thing in this series so far.
Love these pitcher duels that happened the first 2 games, too.
Taking a little low. The third 3-ball count for Chen so far in the ball game. He's only faced 4 batters. Full count to Morneau. And lifted foul and out of play. Driven to right. It's up. It is hard off the limestone. Morneau trying for 2. Markakis will get him by 15 feet. Not a good play by Justin. He hit it so hard, the ball caromed right to Markakis, who's got a tremendous throwing arm.
I remember when this ballpark was open in 2010, Billy Butler did the same thing. He hit the ball with the Kansas City Royals that way. It was thrown out at second base. Doesn't happen too often. We see that ball lined right into that limestone. Ball comes back very quickly to Markakis, who has an outstanding arm. Very good defensive right fielder. Gold Glove winner. Makes a perfect throw to J.J. Hardy for the out.
And now Domit takes a strike. Domit clubbing a big 2-run home run last night. Took a Twins lead of 1 and turned it into a 3-run lead. Tapper to short. Machado charges. Fires on the run. Domit retired 2 away. The Twins have had 2 runners thrown out at second base already in the ball game. 2 down. Plouffe to the plate. You can be a part of our broadcast by voting for who you think is the Arby's Value Player of the game. Just text value, a space, then the player's last name to 234-234. Let us know who you think had the most value in today's game, and we'll tell you the winner in the postgame show. 2 down. Here's Trevor Plouffe. Up and away, ball 1. Trevor's average sitting at 238, but he has hit left-handed pitching very well. He's hitting .400 against lefties this year. Popped up to right field. Easy play for Markakis. Twins have had a couple of leadoff singles, but they've had 2 runners thrown out at second, and they're down 3-0.
Special family from the Twin Cities area. Of course, it is Mother's Day, which is a happy day for a lot of families, but kind of a difficult day for you guys. You lost your wife a few years back, and so you decided to come to the Twins game today to celebrate Mother's Day. And hey, the Twins and Ron Gardenhire have made this a very special day. They showed Luke and his family all around before the game. What was it like to get the tour of Target Field from Ron Gardenhire himself?
Well, it's like the Twins organization as a whole is very friendly, and they show a family atmosphere. So I was an honor to have that.
What does it mean for you to be able to have a really fun time still with your boys, even though their mother isn't here on this day?
It's just a joy to be here at the game.
Absolutely. And Luke, you met Gardy back in spring training. What did you think of him, and what did you think of the tour today?
It was really awesome to meet all the players and to go out on the field with them again.
Absolutely. And so far, so good at the game, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, Dick and Bert, will send it back to you guys, but a very special day for the Twins' extended family.
Thank you very much, Jamie. Yeah, Ron Gardenhire met the family last spring during spring training, as Jamie said, and pretty special day here today at the ballpark for that family.
Well, it just shows the class of Ron Gardenhire, too, you know, having take the time out of his day to show that family around Target Field. Very, very nice.
1-0 to Adam Jones. Diamond's only retired 5 of the first 11 batters he's faced. And a pitch fouled back.
Well, you make an adjustment now. See if Scott Diamond able to get Machado out, who singled off of him in the first inning on that fly ball out. But you know, you have to make an adjustment, and as the game goes on with the stuff you have, a lot of hits, 6 hits given up in the first 2 innings for Scott Diamond. So you try to adjust and keep the club in the game.
1-1. Jones hit into a double play in the first inning, but he hit a hard ground ball to the backhand side of Bloof, who started the double play. 2-1. This one walloped to the corner. And gone, I think. Yep, into the seats. A line drive home run for Adam Jones, and it's 4-0. But for a moment, that ball might have hit the top of the wall and caromed high back onto the field of play. Scott Diamond's already given up his second home run of the ball game.
He came into the game, first 5 starts, only 2 home runs allowed. This is a line drive, vicious shot. They're hoping that it would hit the wall and maybe carry him back, but instead, ball just clearing the fence. And maybe hitting that little garden out there with a flower garden, and then bouncing high for a home run for Jones's 5th home run of the year.
Strike to Chris Davis. He hit a 2-run home run to center. Measured it at over 440 feet. Hitting it off the batter's eye in center. Fouled away. Well, as sharp as Diamond was in Boston, he's just as dull. Is that the opposite of being sharp?
Yeah, I mean, you have to try to make the adjustment. And right now, that ball left up a little bit. Breaking ball that Jones hit. See how he fares here to Chris Davis.
Off the plate, 1-2. The Orioles have played 4 more games than the Twins have. The Orioles did have a postponement because of rain earlier, but they've already made that game up. So the Orioles haven't been impacted by the rotten weather as much as the Twins have. Here's a fly ball to right. Parmalee over for the catch. 2 away. We've seen Scott Diamond normally get outs on ground balls, easy 2 hoppers to infielders, but a lot of balls hit to the outfield here.
You know, talking to some of the Orioles before the ball game, they're not happy, as a lot of clubs aren't happy with the schedule. You know, the Orioles were on the West Coast. They went to Oakland, Seattle, Anaheim. They were kind of like the trip the Twins went on. They went home for only 3 days. Now they, back on the road again. They are having an off day tomorrow as they head back to Baltimore for a nice homestand. Travel is not easy.
1 strike to Wieters. There's a drive to right center field. Wilkin Ramirez running toward the gap, makes the catch. 3 outfield flies on a line drive home run. It's 4-0. Presented by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. By Grand Casino, the best stories start here. And by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. Orioles extend their lead to 4-0. Chris Parmalee struggling at the plate, but he's still helping the Twins win out in the field.
Well, we saw in yesterday's ballgame, Chris Parmalee making a great catch. Right here, reaching out at the last second and making a nice diving catch. And in this ball game, playing the carom, getting it to Dozier as quick as he can. And then Dozier to dome it to get Snyder at home plate. Twins have 14 outfield assists already this year. That's the most in the major leagues.
Parmalee takes down and away, ball 1. Well, Twins have to assume that Scott Diamond will be able to put some zeros up on the board to get the bats going here and start pecking away at what has become now a 4-0 Baltimore lead. Slow breaking ball, snaps over for a strike, 1-1.
Well, one thing about Chen, he has been very consistent. Last year, 12-game winner and 32 starts. So far this year, 5 of his first 7 starts have been quality starts.
Pulled on the ground, easy play for Davis. 1 away. And And Wilkin Ramirez will hit next. Get interactive with us with our AT&T Twitter poll. And in honor of the fishing opener, we've been asking you what's your favorite fish name in baseball. And catfish hunter, the Hall of Famer, Tim Salmon, former Angel, Mike Trout, a current Angel. Brian Bass, Kevin Bass, Randy Bass. We're going to...
how about salmon? I mean, you got to like salmon, right? Smoked salmon?
I love to eat
salmon?
it. I don't know that I'd vote for him in this poll.
I still like catfish hunter, but I was just thinking of smoked salmon.
Have you ever eaten catfish?
No.
Catfish, it's very good. I've eaten
trout. I had a lot of trout.
I've eaten all the fish listed there. Pitches up to Wilkin Ramirez, 2-0. Eduardo Escobar will bat next. And a base hit to right. Ramirez got a pitch away from him. Went with it, singling to right with one out in the third.
It's always nice to see when a hitter takes a pitch like that, like Ramirez. Yeah, he's got some pop in the minor leagues and all that, but you want to make good contact. Fastball away, just takes it, finds that gap between first and second. Twins get their third hit of the ball game, all singles.
And now Escobar. Pedro Florimon not quite 100%. He's had a hamstring issue since the series in Boston. Tried to cut the Oriole lead in half with that swing.
Escobar has one home run. That is a left-handed hitter. When he comes in hitting .385 as a right-handed hitter.
Pretty good from the other side, just under 300. Blocked by Snyder, 1-1.
Yeah, both these pitchers here this afternoon, Diamond and Chin, both of them making their 40th major league start. Diamond has 16 major league wins. Chin has 14. So basically both these guys, both left-handers, getting their feet wet at the major league level. Not a lot of major league starts.
1-1. Poke to right center field. Jones makes the catch. Escobar went down, dug one out, put the barrel of the bat on it for the second out. A talented amateur and a seasoned pro. Kind of sounds like you and me. Battle it out.
You're the pro, I'm the amateur.
Battle it out for fame and fortune when they crown a new World Poker Tour champion in this week's episode of the WPT Borgata Poker Open. Tune into the World Poker Tour presented by ClubWPT.com to see who prevails and walks away from the table more than $800,000 richer.
Well, you give me two aces underneath and then an ace showing, I'll be the pro.
That one kicks away from Snyder. So now the Twins are in the same situation the Orioles were in the second inning. We got a runner at second, 2 out. The Orioles got a 2-out hit to push a run across. We'll see what Dozier can get done here.
Yeah, Snyder tried to block that ball and ended up getting away. A wild pitch will be charged to Chin. That's the second wild pitch of the year. But breaking ball. And then Ramirez alertly gets in the scoring position.
Dozier singled his first time up. Had a nice long battle with Wei-Yin Chen. And on a 3-2 pitch, he lined a single to center field. Sure why we have days like this here. Sometimes you can't really tell from the flags. The ball just seems to be carrying today.
Might be a little swirl in the ballpark.
I didn't think Davis's ball was going to clear in center field. Right. I didn't think that the ball was going to carry to the wall that Parmalee caught the deflection on. 2-0 to Dozier. And a strike.
Yeah, you don't know. I mean, look at the flags up in left field. They're kind of blowing out toward right, but the flag, the American flag in right field is just kind of limp a little bit. And kind of, if it is blowing, it's blowing in toward right field.
2-1 to Dozier.
Might be a channel here, like in Texas.
Missing inside. 3-1. Hard to tell on Adam Jones' home run. That was a laser out of the ballpark. Twins trying to crawl out of an early 4-0 hole here. Might be a good idea for the Twins to score the next run. Already down 4-0. And a called strike. Another full count to Dozier. Mauer on deck if Dozier can extend the inning.
Dozier has one home run. That came at Fenway Park last Monday. Came in the 9th inning, remember, off of Joel Hanahan. Tied the game at 5 apiece at that time.
Full count to Dozier. And a pop-up, it'll reach the seats. Yeah, as it turns out, that was the last batter Hanahan faced. Started the next at bat, had to leave the game.
Now he's getting surgery.
The flexor tendon became detached, completely torn. "44 pitches for Chen, with Dozier trying to deliver his second hit against the Baltimore lefty. Little pop-up, and retreating is Casilla under the outfield grass, and the Twins leave Ramirez at second base. Let's get you caught up anyway.
Well, the Orioles flexing their muscles early. Chris Davis, a 2-run home run off of Scott Diamond in the first inning. Adam Jones, a line drive home run in the third. And so far, Wei-Ling Ching, 3 shutout innings.
Diamond needs to patch the tire here. It's kind of been a slow leak all afternoon long here. A couple in the first, another in the second, another in the third. Facing Steve Pearce, who takes ball 1.
Pearce in his second stint with the Orioles. He came up with the Pirates in 2007. Was with the O's a little bit last year. And then actually he went to spring training with the Twins in 2011. And then ended up getting released by the Twins.
And a strike, 2-1. Just doesn't look like Diamond's had the command even some of the strikes he's thrown obviously have gotten too much of the plate, been up, and he's been hammered here in the early going. Pounded foul, 2-2.
You know, that window that you're talking about too, that strike zone isn't that big, and if you leave everything up, you know, you're going to get whacked around a little bit. So you try to make the adjustment and get back down. Domit, I'm sure, and Diamond are talking between innings, trying to make that pitch down in the zone. Good pitch there, but Pierce just fouled it off.
Still 2-2.
And Diamond's been always a contact type pitcher. You know, he's not going to get a lot of strikeouts, so he has to make that good pitch down to hopefully get some ground ball outs. A lot of fly ball outs so far.
All three of them in the third. Inside.
Then you start aiming the ball because you're leaving pitches up, and there's that relaxation that sometimes isn't out there. I think we saw that from Vance Worley last night, trying to pressure a ball into a certain spot rather than just letting it go because you're nice and relaxed.
Another 3-2 pitch coming to Pierce, and then Hardy and Casilla. Popped up right side, another fly ball out if Parmalee can catch it. Late adjustment, he makes the catch, one away. And before Hardy's at bat, our carsoup.com/baseball question. Justin in Egan wondering whether you feel Scott Diamond has gotten stronger in each of his starts this season.
Well, he started off, you know, on the disabled list, was not activated until the middle of April. In his first outing against the Mets, he did okay. He ended up only going 4 1/3 innings, but then 4 straight quality starts. And then his last start, nice play right there by Dozier, and he gets a second out on one pitch. But yeah, I think Diamond's, you know, he's shown you're going to have outings like this. You battle yourself to try to keep your club in the game. But the one thing about Scott Diamond, and we saw it last year, Dick, he will get normally into the 6th, 7th inning and take some of that pressure off of a bullpen that has been overused by the Twins.
And you know, as rough as this outing has been for him, that's in the forefront of his thoughts here. Look, I got to settle down, but beyond that, I got to go 7. And here he is. He's given up 4 early runs, but that's just his 55th pitch, and he's on the verge of completing his 4th inning. Swing and a miss, 2 strikes.
Well, he gets it. I think one thing about Scott Diamond, he realizes he's not a strikeout pitcher. He needs quick outs as quick as possible. Something to happen in 3 or 4 pitches per batter. If you can do that and face, you know, 25 batters, you're right at that pitch count, but 25 batters will normally get you hopefully into the 6th or 7th inning. You just don't want to face 25 batters in 5 innings.
We saw that a few times last year.
Yes, we did.
2 strikes, Diamond to Casilla. Had a little nubber, advanced a runner. Turned out that was a pretty big plate appearance for Casilla because the runner advanced to second with 2 outs, and then Snyder got an RBI single. That made the score 3-0. Jones added a home run in the 3rd, 4-0.
Yeah, I remember too, that ball kept going towards almost second base, and Domit made a nice play on it and throw a little bit high, but they're able to get Casilla at first.
Headed up the middle, cut off by Escobar. Strong throw and a good 1-2-3 inning for Scott Diamond. Joe Mauer will try to get the Twins lineup going in the bottom of the 4th. down 4-0. The Twins need Joe Mauer to get a hit, maybe another 3-hit game. That's the subject of today's Cold Hard Fact, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
You can see where Joe is right there on 3-hit games, 6 so far on the season.
How about James Loney off to a great start with the Rays? Here's Mauer taking strike one. Mauer struck out in the first while Dozier was taking off for second. Orioles had a couple of runs on the board. Looked like the Twins are ready to match that in the first inning, but then they strike him out, throw him out. The Twins really haven't threatened since. Hacked foul, 2 strikes.
Yeah, speaking of Loney, Dodgers probably would like to have him back. My goodness, the Dodgers are struggling. 14-21 with all that financial burden that they put on that organization. Wow. And the Angels, the same thing. They're struggling. 14-22 on the year.
2 strikes. And there's Mauer's first hit of the afternoon. He tattooed a pitch to center field. Well, I've got it all figured out, by the way. The Dodgers are going to fire Don Mattingly. The Angels are going to fire Mike Scioscia. And then the Dodgers are going to hire Mike Scioscia. And the Angels are going to hire Don Mattingly.
Wouldn't it be easy just to blame it on one guy? Except, how about the players? See that ball left up right there? Joe Mauer, look at his head. Look at the eyes. See the barrel of the bat. Great contact. Great hit.
Now Willingham, who went down swinging in the first inning. Chin got him on 3 pitches. Snyder sets up inside. And Willingham lofts it to short right field. Casilla with the catch, and Willingham retired on 1 pitch. And bring up Morneau. Celebrate with the Twins the 20th anniversary of The Sandlot with a special screening on the Target Field scoreboard May 19th after the Twins game. Special guests include the director and narrator David Mickey Evans, plus Squints and Ham from the cast. Get your tickets, go to the game, stay for the Sandlot screening Sunday, a week from today, and if you can't make it to the game, watch it all from home on Fox Sports North. Here's Justin Morneau. Singled his first time up. He's hit a screaming line drive against the limestone facing in right field, and then was thrown out easily at second base. Popped up, backing out of play.
.50 pitches for Chen, 27 years old, 6 foot tall, about 195. He was signed by the Orioles out of the Japanese League, January of 2012.
Two strikes. There have been 2 wicked line drives hit in this game. The one by Morneau hit the limestone in right field high. The other one hit by Jones, just barely made it over the wall and left. And now Morneau behind in the count, 0-2. One and 2.
Chen has allowed 3 home runs on the year, 1 to a left-handed hitter, 2 to right-handed hitters. So he's done a good job of keeping the ball in the ballpark. This is his 8th start for the Orioles.
Got him looking. Burned a fastball over the outside corner, 2 down.
Chen picks up his 3rd strikeout of the ball game, his first since the first inning. Pitcher's pitch right here to Justin Morneau. See where Snyder's sitting.
So 2 down, and here is Doman with a ground ball to third his first time up.
Snyder now moving inside.
High fly to deep left field. Back is Pierce making the catch on the track. Doman just missed, cutting the Oriole lead in half.
in the 5th inning. I'm Jamie Hirsch inside the Minnesota Lottery Winners Circle. It is Mother's Day, but Mom gets a day off for your family. I'm here with Tony and Sari. Mom helped make this really special Circle Me Bert sign. Sari is celebrating her 10th birthday. So why'd you decide to give Mom the day off and take Sari to a Twins game?
Oh, I had to beg and plead to steal my daughter for this game. For her very first Twins games, well deserved. She's good in school and she deserved to come to her first game today.
Congrats. Well, Sari, what do you think so far? First Twins game, not bad, huh?
Nope.
What do you think of it?
It's awesome.
Awesome. And you have some awesome shades and awesome hat. We're going to make this day even better, hopefully for Mom, because we're going to give you $100 worth of scratch-offs from the Minnesota Lottery. So congratulations.
Thank you so very much.
And happy Mother's Day to your wife and your mom. Dick and Bert.
Thank you very much, Jamie. And young lady, happy birthday. You are hereby circled.
And again, happy birthday to all the moms, or happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
You know, there's some mothers in the hospital, and we want to say happy Mother's Day to Laverne Polzer. She's in the hospital. She's from Madison, Wisconsin, but she's spending Mother's Day in the hospital. Get well soon, young lady.
The strike now, a ball to Chris Snyder, who delivered a 2-out single in the second to score J.J. Hardy. That made it 3-0, and now it's 4-0 Baltimore. I told the story, I think, yesterday when the Twins jumped out in front 6-0 about this part of the ball game. The Orioles said they were sure they were going to win the game. They were going to come back and win it. They did, in part because the Oriole pitching staff shut the Twins down from the middle innings on, and that's what Scott Diamond will try to do to give his lineup a chance to come back and win this game.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. There's not much you can do what's already happened. You can only control this inning and move forward. And Scott Diamond did give up a lot of hits in the first 2 innings, 6 hits in the first 2 innings, a couple home runs, but you know, here he is out starting the 5th inning, 62 pitches, no walks, no strikeouts yet.
Pulled hard on the ground foul. 2-2. Detroit is leading Cleveland 3-2 at Comerica Park, and it's snowing in Detroit. Yankees leading the White Sox, or the Royals rather, 4-1. The White Sox and Angels will play tonight on national TV. Then the White Sox come here to open up a 3-game series tomorrow night. 2-2 to the number 9 batter. And now 3-2. Snyder, Markakis, and Machado. Driven to right, hit hard. Parmalee retreats to the gap to make the catch. 1 away. Check out the Sanford Health injury report. Jason Worth with some hamstring issues.
Gotta love the beard.
It's like a biblical character.
Yes, he does.
The Nationals will host the Twins in interleague play in June. We'll get a chance to catch up with Denard Span, who's having a good start to his career in the National League. Pitches up to Nick Markakis.
Yeah, Nationals hanging in there in the National League Eastern Division, 1 game behind the Atlanta Braves coming into today's play, and that's where the Twins are headed on the next road trip to Atlanta.
Steven Strasburg 1-5 for the Nationals. 2-0 to Markakis.
Markakis already a couple hits, a base hit to lead off the ball game, then a double in the 2nd inning. And that was a play that Parmalee played to Karam, got it to Dozier, and Snyder was tagged out at home to end the 2nd inning.
2-1. 3-1.
Markakis in his 8th season with the Orioles. Very good hitter. Career .296 hitter coming into this year. He's hit over .500 this year against Twins pitching. He draws a walk. Diamond with his first walk of the ball game.
So a runner at first, 1 down, and that'll bring up Machado.
I hope baseball looks at the schedule. And, you know, I know in the past, Dick, I know a couple of years ago we played the Toronto Blue Jays, opened up there, and then all of a sudden they come here, boom, you're done with them. You don't see them anymore.
Yeah.
Here it is the middle of May, and this is the last game between the Orioles and the Twins. Be nice to go to Baltimore a couple times, have the Orioles come here a couple times.
Well, now, how do you propose to accommodate that with interleague play? We tried that once.
You eliminate interleague play.
Oh, okay, that's a lot. Okay.
It's hard now with 15 teams in both, leagues, but too many games in our division. 19 times we play everybody in our division. That's a lot of games.
They tried to make it the best of both worlds when they started interleague play, and there were a lot of 2-game series, and nobody liked that. You go into a city, it was almost like an NBA road trip. You'd be in each city for a couple of days at times. 2 strikes. And now a ball. I don't know that there is much novelty in interleague play now to warrant maintaining it. The people who make these decisions have decided it's good for baseball to have it. But now what will it mean to the Twins? Do you think people bought a ticket because the Miami Marlins were here for the first time? I don't think so. More so than they would have if the Toronto Blue Jays were here, for instance. Phillies come here again. I don't know that that's going to be much of a draw. The Brewers to some extent.
Ben Revere fans will want to come out and say hello to Ben. Couple throws to first base. Markakis has attempted only 1 stolen base, and he was caught. But the Orioles like to run. 27 stolen bases in 33 attempts this year.
1-2. Ooh, Machado got a pitch to hit as Diamond left another one right over the middle of the plate.
Normally when we see Scott Diamond at his best, and that was his last outing in Boston, everything was down, down, down.
Yes.
The breaking ball's down. And here just leaving some pitches, right there. Been hurt a couple times by Davis and Jones. And Machado almost put a number on him too.
And you might have been able to hear Diamond exclaim. He's very upset with his command here. I mean, Diamond usually when he misses by a fraction of an inch off the plate. That was about a foot high and wide.
Yeah, just trying to overthrow, and you end up leading with the palm of your hand rather than getting on top of that baseball with those fingers so you can create that downward plane.
That's a fair ball between Morneau and the line. To third base, Markakis, and they'll be holding him there. Morneau, of course, holding the runner and then springing off the base to field the ball, and it was hit behind him, fair down the right field line.
And Machado picks up his 8th hit in this 3-game series. 17th time he's had a multi-hit game. And another pitch up, and you see where Machado, that ball's away. Justin jumped off the bag like you mentioned, and the ball just hugged the line right over the bag. Jerry Meals, the first base umpire, saying it was fair. And Machado picks up his 14th double.
Jones will be intentionally walked to fill the bases. And now you look up, and the pitch count after this intentional walk is going to have Diamond with more than 80 pitches. And we're still stuck with 1 out in the 5th.
See, that's one thing I disagree. I know that's considered a pitch, pitch to home plate, but when you look all around and say, okay, he's got 100 pitches, really 96. These are just lob tosses for the intentional walk.
Loaded up now, Chris Davis, and here comes Rick Anderson to talk with Diamond.
Yeah, just trying to get him back down right here. The Twins need a ground ball off the bat of Chris Davis. But we mentioned it yesterday. He's hit only 1 double play. He's got an uppercut swing, and a pretty good one at that.
Better chance maybe to strike him out. Diamond had done that in his 3 prior meetings, but then today Davis with a long home run to center and a fly ball to right. And Diamond does not have a strikeout yet in the ball game, so there haven't been, because he's left the pitch up and in bad spots, there haven't been many swings and misses. Davis started the scoring with a 2-run home run, and he's got a chance to bust the game open here. Orioles up 4-0. Bases loaded, 1 out.
2 grand slams. One of those came against the Twins in Baltimore.
Bounce to the right side, and Morneau will go to the bag. A run will score. It's 5-0. So he got a weak ground ball dribbled to Morneau. 2 away.
Yeah, you expect him to hit the ball a little bit harder than that. It's kind of a, right on top of the ball, created that slow ground ball. So Davis picking up his 3rd RBI of the ball game. And it's a 5-0 Orioles lead.
And now maybe the biggest at bat of the game. Wieters up, 2 men in scoring position. Jones runs well. He's at second base. Anthony Swarzak warming up in the Twins pen. And Diamond, simply put, needs to get Wieters here to keep the Twins within some semblance of striking distance. Bounce to short. Escobar has it, and that takes care of it. Another run for the Orioles. 5-0 the lead after 4.5.
The first half of this ball game belongs to the Orioles, up 5-0. See if the second half might be the Twins' turn to score some runs. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins.
Trevor Plouffe leads off the 5th for the Twins. And he takes a strike. Plouffe with a fly ball to right his first time up.
Got a note. I was supposed to say hello to Rose DeShinder, 92 years old, 92 years young, from Sauk Rapids.
The line foul, 2 strikes.
So hi, Rose.
Plouffe trying to get something started. Parmalee and Ramirez will follow. Kind of a flat first half of the ball game. Diamond hasn't pitched well. Twins haven't strung together any good at bats. Scattered hit here or there. That's been it. 1 hit in every inning.
Well, it's kind of like, can we turn this game around like the Orioles did on Friday night? Twins were up 6-0. Orioles ended up scoring 3 times, 3 runs in an inning.
And this to right center field. Plouffe has a hit. And it's the second leadoff hit in a row. The 4th leadoff hit for the Twins in the ball game. See if they can do something with this leadoff base hit. Parmalee hitting next.
Yeah, 5 hits so far for the Twins, all singles.
1 in each inning.
What a bad pitch down. And Plouffe hitting it softly into right field for his first hit.
Parmalee hit a ground ball to Davis his first time up. Outside, ball 1. Let's have some guys who've been in some deep slumps. Parmalee's average way down from what the Twins expect. Willingham. Domit's been there, and now he's starting to swing the bat well. Hicks, of course. And a fastball taken for a strike. Gardenhire with some words of advice for Eduardo Escobar. Plouffe in all likelihood not going anyplace, down by 5 runs. Blocked nicely by Snyder.
Yeah, good job by Snyder right there. You know a breaking ball's coming. You always anticipate maybe that ball being in front of you. And Snyder knocking it down.
Backup catcher for the Orioles, and read today where David Ross, the backup catcher for the Red Sox, now has been put on the 7-day concussion list, and presumably it's because of that collision he had with Will Middlebrooks in Boston when the Twins were there.
They slid in foul territory.
Swing and a miss as Parmalee chases. 2-2. Ron Gardenhire going with Parmalee over Arcia in right field. A couple of young, relatively inexperienced left-handed hitters. 2-2. Parmalee flicks it foul.
A tough fastball outer half of the plate, and Parmalee keeps the at bat going by fouling it off. Chen throwing strikes, 62 pitches, 42 have been strikes. No walks, 3 strikeouts in the ball game.
Plouffe still at first after his leadoff single. Dribbler right side. Casilla over to Davis. Parmalee retired. Twins just haven't strung anything together every time they've got a base runner because of a single. The next batter has been retired. Now in the case of Morneau, he was out trying to stretch his single into a double. But now Ramirez has a chance to at least get the Twins on the board with a hit.
Well, Ramirez did get a hit in the 3rd inning. Took a fastball away. Hit that ball sharply between Casilla and Davis in the right field.
Swings over a breaking ball, 1 strike. Twins need to get something going here, get the crowd into this game a little bit. Just kind of been a Baltimore afternoon here. 1 strike. 2 strikes.
Another good block by Snyder. And 2 straight breaking balls to Ramirez. Ball landing just on the other side of home plate.
So Chen has gotten Ramirez to chase and has him behind in the count 0-2.
Watching Chen a little bit move out there. He just looks like maybe he pulled something.
And another breaking pitch.
Chen again making his second start against the Twins organization. Last year ended up winning a ball game here in July. Pitched 7 innings, gave up 3 runs to the Twins. Orioles beat the Twins 4-3.
2 strikes again to Ramirez. Fastball and fouled it back. Ramirez took a fastball up and away and bounced it into right field for a base hit his first time up. It's with their 4th leadoff single against Wei-Yin Chen. Another 2-strike pitch. Hammered to the glove of Machado. So Ramirez stung one. 4 out number 2. We'll bring up Escobar. The way the weather has been this spring, a fleece blanket comes in handy at the ballpark. Come out to the game Tuesday against the White Sox, and if you're one of the first 10,000 fans through the gates, you get a Twins fleece blanket presented by Delta Airlines. Get your tickets for this game and many others. Just visit twinsbaseball.com or call 833-TWINS. Now, I know you don't need one of those because you've stolen enough from Delta Airlines
yes,
on all your flights over the years.
Sure have.
You don't need to get one complimentary here at the ballpark.
No. That's why you bring an extra bag with you.
Here's Escobar, and the Twins need a 2-out hit here.
Well, I have a suitcase that works.
And I will too eventually.
You hope.
In the dirt, blocked again by Snyder. Escobar hit the ball fairly hard to center fielder Jones. First time up. Down and away. 2-0.
I'm just watching Chen. This inning, he's just taking a lot of time between pitches, kind of moving around. I wonder if he tweaked something.
There's no activity in the Baltimore pen, and they're not. They haven't made any medical visit to him at all. Rick Adair, the pitching coach. 2-0. Dozier on deck.
His fastball was at 91, 92, and now it's at 89. The way he's just kind of moving around. It just count in the favor right now of Escobar. See if he'll take a pitch here.
He'd better.
Twins need base runners.
He'd better take a pitch here. And he takes a strike. Three and 1 to Eduardo Escobar. Bounced to short. Easy play for Hardy. And that ends it. Twins get another leadoff single, leave another base runner aboard, and it's 5-0. Brewed, Coors Light.
And that comes with the tag out of Snyder at home plate by Ryan Dohm, and a good relay from Parmalee to Dozier to the tag out. That ended the second inning.
Still 5-0 even without the run the Orioles were trying to get there. Steve Pearce will lead off the sixth. Up and away, ball one. Diamond now has thrown 84 pitches, hoping to at least get through 6 and maybe get an out or 2 or 3 in the 7th inning. There's a strike on the outside corner.
Well, it's always an unusual start if Scott Diamond has a couple innings that are over 20 pitches an inning, because normally, you know, to get out of an inning, Diamond's right between 13 and 17 pitches. It doesn't seem like not a lot, but we mentioned it the other day. Pelfrey averaging about 20 pitches per inning. You know, if he can cut that down to 15, you're talking about another inning maybe worth, and that's what the Twins would like their starters to do, is stretch it out a little bit more.
Popped up, backing out of play.
Yeah, you'd like the bullpen maybe at worst to maybe pitch 2 innings out of that bullpen in today's game, where rather than what the bullpen is average for the Twins, almost, you know, 3 1/3, 3 2/3 innings on a daily basis. That's asking a lot from the guys out there.
That's what I said yesterday, as much as you sneered at it. The Twins, for this turn through the rotation, here's a deep blast to left center field, and gone. A home run for Steve Pearce, and it's 6-0.
Pearce hitting his second home run of the year. Another pitch up, and Pearce makes it a 6-0 ball game.
Well, this has been so un-Scott Diamond-like.
Again, he came into the ballgame only allowed 2 home runs in his first 5 starts. But here this afternoon, that's home run number 3 against Diamond.
And a strike to Hardy. I said last night, Twins had 5 games before the next off day. Every starter would get a turn. They needed to get at least 30 innings. There's a pop-up to right field. Parmalee comes in. At least 30 innings from those 5 starts, and Worley was a couple outs short last night, and now Diamond looks like 6 is going to be pretty close to the limit here today. 1 down. Here's Casilla.
Tommy Hunter starting to loosen up. Between innings, I went next door and asked him about Chin, and they said that he's got a little bit of a back problem, so a sore back. See if Hunter comes in and starts the bottom of the 6th.
Casilla taps it foul.
It's amazing how pitchers have those problems, you know, with in the 5th inning with a 5-0 lead at the time.
Oh, now you're not suggesting
it's the old 5 and fly rule.
You're not suggesting that he now has a 6-0 lead. And
yeah, it's out there. It's out into that vapor, into the world.
1-1. 1-2. Garcia got some awfully big hits for the Twins. Big one late in the season that beat the White Sox. A bigger one that scored Gomez in game 163. Swinging a foul, and Domet stung by that foul too.
Got a piece of Ryan Domet right there.
Coming to the Twins years ago for relief pitcher J.C. Romero.
Foul tip. One ringy-dingy. First time in Diamond's career he's allowed 3 home runs in a ball game.
One and 2 to Casilla.
I can honestly say I did that numerous times.
3 home runs in one game?
Oh, yeah.
Toward the hole. Escobar backhands it. Look at that arm. Got him. Eduardo Escobar with a great play.
That is an outstanding play, especially who hit the ball with Casilla's speed from home to first. Escobar has to go to his right, makes a nice backhanded play, sets, and fires a P over to Justin.
The strength and also the accuracy of his arm is one of the reasons he's up in the big leagues.
You know, you watch guys like Escobar, infielders, they're able to transfer that weight right back to that right foot as quick as possible to be able to put something on that baseball. Nice play.
Here's Chris Snyder. This will be the 96th pitch for Diamond, up and away, ball 1. In his start against the Red Sox, he is sailing through 7 and was taken out with 96 pitches. In part, although the decision had already made, the Twins then scored 4 runs in the top of the 8th. But the Twins had already decided 96 was going to be enough for him. They feel they've got quite an asset in Scott Diamond, and they don't want to push things.
Yeah. Well, you remember he had that the bone chips removed in December, so we're going to take it easy a little bit. Twice he's gone 97 pitches. And this will be the most pitches he's had in an outing here this afternoon.
3-0 with 2 gone.
Two walks for Diamond, no strikeouts. One of the walks an intentional walk.
Three and 1. His next start will be against the Red Sox again at the end of this homestand. Next Saturday, I guess that would be. 3 and 1. And that's all you need to know about Scott Diamond's day right there. Beyond the 6 runs, he's just walked the number 9 batter.
Yeah, 100 pitches, 62 strikes, and here comes Ron Gardenhire.
And Gardy's doing something he didn't want to have to do, and Diamond really upset too. He was unable to complete 6 innings. So
I think another sign too. At least has a strikeout or 2, and he had no strikeouts. So not the outing that everybody wanted out of Scott Diamond.
Fine. We kind of pick and choose. Perkins is going to go out there and play some catch today. I think he thinks he's going to be available. Burton's definitely not available, so that's an interesting situation developing there. If Perk can't go, then we'll have to ad-lib a little bit at the end. But the rest of the guys, I think, are okay.
Well, one of the rest of the guys is Anthony Swarzak, who's coming in out of the bullpen. He ended up getting the loss in the 10-inning 9-6 loss to the Orioles here on Friday night. Gave up 4 hits and 3 runs in the 10th inning. Swarzak making his 10th relief appearance.
And you can imagine Swarzak telling Ron Gardenhire as he came to the mound, okay, I got this the rest of the way out. Don't worry about it. That's the kind of guy Swarzak is. He wants to pitch, and he wants to do what is asked of him. And in this instance, if he can efficiently finish the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, the Twins might be inclined to let him do that. 1-0 to Markakis. Deep but foul down the left field line.
Yeah, Swarzak in that bullpen because he's a guy that can go multi-innings. Longest outing for Swarzak came early in April. He went 4 innings against the Kansas City Royals. He's normally, give me 3, give me 2 innings. And that's what hopefully they can get out of Swarzak here this afternoon.
Problem in doing that, and again, it all depends on Swarzak pitching effectively, 1-1 inside, is if you do that, you probably shut him down then after today's game till next Friday, because the Twins have 3 games coming up, and the Twins stretch somebody out, a long reliever out that far, they like to give them a day off per inning pitched, which in this case would be 3.
And that's why he's making only his 10th relief appearance, because most of the outings have been multi-inning outings. Remember, he started the season on a disabled list, not activated until the first week in April.
Now, granted, it's not the most glorious role to have on a pitching staff, but every team has at least one of them, and they at times find themselves being indispensable. 2-2. Pop foul and out of play.
Very valuable. We saw, you could almost put Dunsing in that role too, because he's a guy that at times they would like for to go 2 or 3 innings, depending on how that starter does. And it was Brian Dunsing who came in and, in my opinion, saved the game last night, getting the double play ball off the bat of Markakis. So even though, you might pitch the 5th, 6th, 7th inning, those are important innings.
6th pitch for Swarzak, and it's a chopper to short, and it should end the inning. Escobar fires across. That takes care of the 6th. Swarzak cleans up the inning. The Twins are down by 6. McDonald's. Get a freshly brewed cup of premium roast coffee from McDonald's, any size, just $1. And by Toyota. Let's go places. To find the nearest Toyota dealer and check out our current offers, visit buyatoyota.com. All Orioles so far. As we go to the bottom of the sixth, if you're looking for a laugh this weekend, Brian Hall follows Minnesota athletes on Twitter all week, so we can bring you his top 10 tweets each Friday. Check him out at foxsportsnorth.com. Wei-Yin Chen left with a right oblique pull.
I remember I said I thought last inning he looked just like something was wrong, and ended up straining that right oblique. So it's Tommy Hunter coming into the ball game. He got the win here on Friday night. He worked 2 1/3 innings in relief through 36 pitches, 21 for strikes. Hard-throwing right-hander.
He didn't give the Twins anything. He struck out 3. Nothing was hit hard. Nobody got on base against him. There's a strike called on the outside corner. Dozier, Mauer, and Willingham will face him here in the Twins' 6th. Twins have just been dead in the water through 5 offensively. There's a hook over for strike 2.
Well, Tommy Hunter, a lot like Anthony Swarzak, a guy that started, they expected him to be a starter. He came up with the Rangers as a starter, but now in the bullpen, and you can see the velocity that he can create. A guy that just threw 36 pitches here on Friday and still getting that fastball. Fastball clocked at 96.
Bauer hit a fly ball against him on Friday night. He gives you some idea, I guess, of the Oriole rotation, although it's hardly the solid rotation you'd expect for a team that won 93 games. But this guy's got too much stuff to be a relief pitcher. My goodness.
But you look at him as a starter, it just hasn't really panned out. This might be the best role for him.
One strike
to
the
the Orioles feel right now.
Just missing. And it's 1-1. Mauer singled his last time up, extending his hitting streak. The Twins have had a single in every inning and nothing more. Gotten a couple of runners to second base. Had a couple of runners thrown out trying to get to second base. We've seen the Twins team pretty much outbash the Red Sox at Fenway Park, and it's been an offensive free-for-all in the first 2 games of the series, but Wei-Yin Chen didn't give the Twins anything. That's just off the plate, 3-1.
A little bit about Hunter last year. He made 20 starts for the Orioles, but as a starter, he was 4-8 with an ERA at 5.71. But as a reliever, when he optioned him out, he came back up, had a great month of September in the bullpen.
Fair ball down the line. Mauer rounds first. He's digging for second, and he's in with the first extra base hit. And another double for Joe Mauer.
15th double of the year for Joe Mauer. Only Mike Napoli in the American League has more doubles with the Boston Red Sox. And you can understand why with that green monster. Mauer loved hitting Boston, and every hit he got seemed like a double. But this is a fastball down. He just slashes that ball down that third baseline into the corner. Nate McLouth now in left field ends up getting the ball back in.
And now Willingham, a strikeout on 3 pitches and a pop-up on 1. He takes strike 1.
Well, Willingham's been struggling. What you want to see out of Josh right here is a good at-bat, good contact. He's been popping up some balls, been striking out a little bit. A heartbreaking ball there.
In one of those ruts where he's taking the strikes and swinging at pitches like that that looked like they were breaking down and away out of the strike zone. 2 strikes. Willingham with 24 walks on the year. Only Prince Fielder has more in the American League, so his on-base percentage helps make up for the poor batting average. 1-2. And then he's been hit 5 times. But he wants to hit, not be hit.
A little bit of an open stance for Willingham.
Two and two. Batting average of just over 200 and an on-base percentage of just under 400. Sky near the mound. And Casilla with the catch out, number 2.
See, that's what Josh is doing. Looks like he's just getting underneath that ball just a little bit. And you're only talking about a fraction of an inch from making great contact to popping it up.
And that's where Justin Morneau was for the first 4 or 5 weeks of his year. Same rut that Willingham has found himself in. It's just now, the last week and a half, Justin is squaring some balls up. Twins finally get a double here with 1 out off the bat of Mauer. Now they need a 2-out hit by Morneau to even have a chance of scoring. Fouled away. The Twins roughly a fifth of the way through the schedule. And so you take Morneau's numbers, multiply them times 5, and you're looking at 120 runs batted in. And
he did that all. That was quick.
Somewhere Mrs. Forcier is smiling. Mrs. Clatterbuck.
Oh, they got a piece of Justin. That
all right,
breaking ball down and in.
Morneau hit by a pitch, first and second, and now Doman will hit as a left-handed batter.
It looked like a hard slider down and in, and got the foot of Justin. Take a look right here. Yeah, the back foot.
So Doman is a right-handed batter, nearly hit another home run his last time up. Now as a lefty, the Twins need to convert here. The closest thing they've had to a chance to put a crooked number up on the board. Slow breaking ball off the plate. As we move through the later innings here, the Twins have a bench including Arcia, Hicks, Florimone, and Carroll. And the hope was that should they have a lead late, that Glenn Perkins would be available out of the pen as well. One swing here could cut the Baltimore lead in half. 2-0. Doman hitting with a 2-0 count and a foul back, 2-1.
They jumped on that high fastball right there and fouled it off.
Hitting 188 as a left-handed batter, but 2 of his 3 home runs have been from the left side.
Both of those coming at Fenway Park. Tommy Hunter has allowed 3 home runs on the year and 19 innings pitched.
2-1 to Ryan Doman. Chopped up the line, foul, 2-2.
As I mentioned on Tuesday in Fenway Park, Ryan Doman taking one over the Green Monster. Then he said, "To heck with this, I can go a little bit deeper." That one into the bullpen area. And here last night, he clobbered this one into the second deck.
And Doman said after the first one, he got tired of looking up at the scoreboard and seeing a goose egg under home runs. And
well, get tired of looking at 3. Let's go. Make it 4.
fouled back.
Doman hit 18 home runs last year for the Twins.
Two and two to Doman, trying to deliver a big hit to get the Twins back in the game. Fouled at the plate again. I'm sure the Orioles are quite concerned about Wei-Yin Chen and the oblique pull. That's tough for any pitcher. We know what Glenn Perkins has had to deal with when he pulled one a couple of years ago. But as a starting pitcher, that could be devastating to the Orioles' rotation. Hooked, foul. And you have the sneaking suspicion he's going to make his next start. Huh?
No. I did notice last inning. Yeah. Remember, I mentioned it just didn't look. I think it was the at bat against Chris Parmelee. He just kind of moved his trunk around like something was wrong, and he got through the inning, but he did not throw the same as he did earlier in the ballgame. So you could see something was wrong, and there was.
Long battle here between Hunter and Doman. Doman got tired of waiting. Snyder to the mound.
I guess I was lucky. I never had oblique strain, but just talking to people that have, and you know, Perkins is kind of battling that now. It's almost like your muscles near your rib cage, almost like they stretch out. It takes a long time to heal sometimes. Of course, you need muscles, and I didn't have any, so.
Yeah, as I said, I think the obliques it's a muscle group that play-by-play announcers don't have. Doman lifts it to left center field, and Jones retreating to end the at-bat and the inning, and the Twins strand two in the sixth. Baltimore so far.
A lot of home runs for the Orioles, 3 on the day. Chris Davis with a 2-run home run in the first inning. In the third inning, Andrew Jones hitting a rocket for a solo home run. And then Steve Pearce in the 6th inning. All the home runs coming off of Scott Diamond had a solo home run. And Jim leaving the ballgame after 5 innings with a right oblique strain. He worked 5 shutout innings. He's the pitcher of record.
Twins are hoping for some late inning dramatics here. There were some late inning dramatics in Detroit. Jose Valverde called on to get the save in a 3-2 game for the Tigers, but he blew the save. The Indians tied it up at 3. Anthony Swarzak now hoping to settle in and maybe pull the cart for the next 3 innings. There's a pitch up, ball 1. fouled away. 1-1. Machado's made quite an impression on the Twins. Didn't play against them last year. Twins were done with the Orioles by the time he got called up in early August. He had enough at bats, almost 200 of them, to not be considered a rookie this year. But this is his first full year. 2-2.
Yeah, he didn't get his major league debut was August 9th of last year. Put it into that rotation right away. Only 20 years old, again from Southwest Florida, the Miami area.
Up the middle, another base hit. You know, the Orioles were right there. They were playing well and doing well and in contention. And usually when a team extends itself, gets into postseason play under those circumstances, they acquire a veteran. You know, in '87, the Twins acquired Don Baylor, and he was a valuable guy for the Twins. But this was an unusual situation. One of the key acquisitions they had was just this kid called up from Double-A, and he played like a veteran.
And he just got his 9th hit in this series.
3 again today, and now Jones will hit.
One thing Buck Showalter, when he took over, this is his 3rd year with the Orioles, he brought a lot of confidence with him, and he instilled a lot of confidence in this ball club. Offensively, they have some guys that can hammer the ball. Pitching wise, yeah, they kind of made it work last year. A lot of 1-run wins, a lot of confidence. I mean, you mentioned they were down 6-0 on Friday night, but they felt they were going to get back into the ball game, and they did.
2 strikes to Jones. And Swarzak gets him to chase. 1 away. Let's check in with Jamie Hirsch.
Well, thank you, Dick. We already know how dangerous Chris Davis can be at the plate, but we checked into the Orioles clubhouse to ask around and get to know the person behind the player. So here are 3 things you need to know about Chris Davis. 1, he has a miniature English bulldog named Samson. Teammates also tell me he has the voice of an angel, and he really likes to sing in the clubhouse. So who knew? He also tried to eat a 6-pound burrito in the offseason. He almost succeeded. He reached 5 pounds, and I guess they had lunch like 3 hours before that. So he's got a pretty healthy appetite, probably helps him at the plate. Dick and Bert?
Wow.
6-pound burrito.
That sounds like something you'd like to try.
That sounds pretty good.
Fouled back to the screen. 2 strikes now.
I'd run ground beef, though. I don't want shredded beef. I want ground beef in my 6-pound burrito.
Okay. Why don't you do that on one of your extended breaks from Twins television?
No, I'd rather do it while I'm here.
I think it'd be nice if, for instance, on the next road trip, when you're not...
How come everybody's saying no in the booth?
When you're back in Florida, when the Twins are on the road next time, try that.
Hey, the windows are open. Let's go.
1-2 to Chris Davis.
Comes that can of spray again.
Foul back.
Well, Davis last year had a career year. He had 33 home runs for the Orioles last year, drove in a career high 85 and hit 270. You know, he came up with the Rangers, and it just didn't really pan out for him there. He got some opportunities, didn't make the most out of it, but in his 3rd season with the Orioles, he's the guy in the middle of the lineup that can hit the ball a long way.
Immense strength. And sometimes it takes a while for power hitters to get it all together. Aaron O'Day warming up. And another foul.
Swarzak throwing strikes, 15 strikes in the 20 pitches he's thrown so far. So He's attacking the strike zone.
Curve off the plate, 2-2. Orioles got a couple of first inning runs on a Davis home run, but it's the add-on runs. They've scored in every inning but the fourth here. Davis gets another piece of a Swarzak offering. Three runs batted in for Davis. The home run in the first, the ground ball in the fifth. 37 on the season. Got him looking. Good pitch by Swarzak. Second straight strikeout, 2 down.
Hey, went inside, almost a two-seamer, came back in and got the strikeout.
Now is as good a time as any to get a group together and make plans to come to the ballpark this spring or summer. Organize your business, church, school, group. Get some friends together, relatives, what have you. Visit twinsbaseball.com/groups or call 800-33-TWINS and have fun at the ballpark. Down and away, ball one to Matt Wieters.
And when I mentioned two-seamer, a lot of people, what's a two-seamer and a four-seamer? Four-seamer is like a shortstop, like Escobar. When he gets that ball and he wants to throw that ball across the diamond, outfielder, you want to throw that ball straight, you throw a four-seamer. Two-seamer, get a little more sink.
Flip to Morneau, the inning ends. A leadoff single does no damage.
Has been a big part of my life and my career. It's funny to this day, she still can't watch me pitch on TV. So when I come in the game, she all of a sudden thinks of something to do so she can leave the room.
My mom might be one of my biggest fans, and sometimes she used to get a little too engrossed in the games, and she'd be the mom that you could hear from a mile away.
You know, she's the best woman in my life, and she's put me in this, able to, give me so much and be able to say that she's my loving mother, it definitely means a lot to me.
I want to wish my mom, Jan, a happy Mother's Day. Also my grandmother, Lynette, happy Mother's Day. Love you both. Mwah.
Very nice.
Beautiful Mother's Day here, but the Orioles have a 6-0 lead. FC fans of the game hoping, at least the ones who are awake, hoping that the Twins will come back and win this ball game.
A beautiful young lady right there. And happy Mother's Day to Mommy.
And the Twins will have to mount a comeback here in the 7th inning against Darren O'Day, who's come out of the Baltimore bullpen.
Yeah, sinker baller, side armor, Darren O'Day, making his 18th relief appearance. Been outstanding. Only 11 hits allowed in 17 innings, 6 walks with 18 strikeouts. Orioles have a very solid bullpen, as the Twins do.
MLB.com at bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers Twins baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and more. Text at Bat to 31826 or visit twinsbaseball.com for details. Trevor Plouffe will take his swings against O'Day. Twins have had, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 base runners reach base. And in every case, the next batter's been retired.
Yeah, they've had a hit an inning, but haven't been able to mount anything where they have multiple hits.
And O'Day with that frisbee breaking pitch spins it over for strike 1.
Yeah, O'Day, 30 years old, in his 2nd season with the Orioles. Came up with the Angels in 2008.
Called strike. Plouffe checked his swing, but O'Day clipped the corner. Half swing, but he went. And Plouffe is gone on 3 pitches.
Yeah, that funky delivery down underneath. You saw 2 frisbees and then that fastball up in the strike zone. And O'Day picks up another strikeout, his 19th strikeout. In 17 1/3 innings pitched.
So 1 down, and now Parmalee. Parmalee 0 for 2, a couple of ground balls to the right side. Breaking pitch for strike 1.
Orioles claimed O'Day off of waivers from the Texas Rangers.
That surprised me because he was a key part of that Ranger bullpen. They just felt they had some power arms they could replace him with. Swing and a foul.
Well, he gives you a look that, say, a Kent DeColvey. Not too many guys throw from down there. Dan Quisenberry.
Terry Leach did it for the Twins.
Right, just a different look. What a year he had last year. 7-1 out of that bullpen and 69 relief appearances. An ERA of 2.2.
Parmalee drives it to left field. And McLeod lost it in the sun. A ground rule double. And Parmalee, first things first, hit that ball hard, and then McLeod got there, but then looked up and lost it in the sun.
Yeah, he went over there. McLeod put in as a defensive replacement. Steve Pierce was out there. But we've seen it as that sun sets. You can see the shadows of McLeod right there. He lost it. Lucky that ball didn't hit him. Right there, he just said, oh, where to go?
Well, at least he had the sunglasses on. We saw in Boston, Pedro Florimon, or was it in Cleveland? Florimon lost a ball in the sun and didn't have his sunglasses on. Here's Ramirez.
Hey, Parmalee will take that. That's a double. His 3rd double of the year.
That sweeping breaking ball called for another strike.
Well, you can see how he is tough on right-handed hitters. That being O'Day. Then the sinker down.
Ramirez with a single to right, and then a rocket off his bat hit right at Machado at third base. And he got a piece. I would imagine most batters, particularly right-handed batters, go into full defensive mode when you're up there with 2 strikes and this guy who throws from the odd angle has a big sweeping breaking ball. Driven to right field. Markakis there for the catch, and Parmalee played it halfway, unable to tag. 2 down. Ramirez has at least hit the ball on the barrel of the bat all 3 times today.
O'Day left that ball up, and Ramirez hit it sharply, but for the second out.
Now Escobar. If you've ever heard the term a pitcher or a pitching staff scattering hits, that's what's happened here this afternoon to the Twins. 1 hit in every inning, never more than 1 hit. And again, every time a batter reaches, the next guy makes an out. Escobar with a liner to center and a ground ball to short. To all 4 batters, he started the at-bat with that breaking pitch for a called strike. Down and away, 1-1.
We talk to the people, kinesiology. They say that's the way that you're supposed to throw a baseball, and less wear and tear on your arm if you can throw it almost like, a softball pitcher. More wear and tear throwing it overhand.
Inside, 2-1. Did you ever even try?
Oh yeah. Underarm?
You did?
Yeah. As I got older, I think because I couldn't lift my arm up anymore. No, I threw a lot of my breaking balls from down there as I got older. And
seriously, not that low?
Not that low, but sidearm.
Okay, all right.
Just to give the hitter, especially hitters that I thought saw me pretty good, I'd give them a different look, more or less. Because even talking to Rod Carew, I remember talking about hitting, and always looked at the pitcher's bill of his hat. And the ball would come out of that area. Well, here, there's no way that the ball's going to come out of the bill of the hat of O'Day because where that ball is released almost by his knees.
2-2. I remember we had Rod with us on television. He was talking about that one of his strengths, he felt, was he was able to pick up the pitch quicker than most, and he would always, ignore the delivery and all that. He'd find a spot close to the logo on the pitcher's cap, and he would just focus on that to try to pick up the release, the spin.
That's what Joe Mauer can do so well. Pick up that rotation right as soon as that pitcher lets the ball go.
Little dribbler right side. And Casilla flips. That ends the inning. Another runner left aboard for the Twins. They've been shut out through 7.
up with it. You know, us going to all of our games, and she went around my dad to watch them and everything. And then the neighborhood, we had a pretty good-sized yard in the back, and we used to all come over to our house and play ball, and she'd kick everybody out of the house. So she liked baseball, but she didn't like it played in the house.
No, that wouldn't be good, playing hardball in the house.
There are hockey moms, there are soccer moms, there's something about a baseball mom. And we wish you all moms a happy Mother's Day.
My mother was a lot like Jared Burton's mother. She didn't come to a lot of games, but when she did, you know, she'd kind of, if I was pitching, she'd kind of go somewhere else and want to find out later how I did. Probably more nervous than I was.
Steve Pearce leading things off against Anthony Swarzak. I played a lot of catch with my mom. She didn't understand. She would begin to know how to tell you what an infield fly rule was or anything, but she just loved watching the game. There's a foul pop.
I remember one of the moments I pitched when I came up with the Twins. One of my first outings in Anaheim. This is before the designated hitter. My mother knew I was pitching, and she came to the game, and I said, Mom, hopefully I'll win for you. She goes, oh, give me a double. I want a double.
She asked you that?
She wanted me to get a double, and guess what? I got a double in that ball game. And I remember standing at second base. First of all, I didn't know where second base was. I made a right turn normally. But I stood there and I looked for her. And I found her. And she kind of like waved, And whether I won or lost, it didn't matter to her because I got the double.
McLeod, the batter, he hits a fly ball to Willingham and left, one down, and that'll bring up J.J. Hardy.
Only double I ever got, but thank you, Mom.
Hardy singled and scored in the second inning. It's just been a lopsided game here so far. And Swarzak doing his part to try to get the last 10 outs for the Twins. He's halfway there. And a solid single to center for J.J. Hardy.
Hardy gets his second hit of the ball game.
Take a look around at the league. Bronson Arroyo with good ball game against the Brewers. Adrian Beltre and the Rangers having some fun in Houston. And for that matter, Jose Bautista having some fun in Boston. Glad to see Jack Morris and Clay Buchholz smooth that little situation over with. As the Blue Jays came to Fenway Park as the Twins were leaving, Jack apparently took it upon himself to go up to Buchholz and said, hey, here's what I said, here's what I meant to say. Didn't mean for it to be taken the wrong way. Hope everybody's cool. And Buchholz said, yeah, I don't care. Jack, there's a ground ball to second.
That's Turnip.
There's one. And the throw from Escobar, a sidearm throw that sails into the photographer's area. So Casilla streaking down the line, and he put a little pressure on Escobar to make a good throw. And Escobar usually throws straight over the top. That one looked like a sidearm throw.
Credit J.J. Hardy, too. He got down that toward second base pretty hard right there. And take a look right here. A little backhand flip, and then just throw off line.
Yeah.
I thought Hardy was on top of Escobar, but he had plenty of time to make a good throw. So it'll be a fielder's choice for Casilla, and the error on Escobar. Only his second error of the year.
Dolman to the mound to talk to Swarzak, who should have been out of the inning. Anyway, you were not a part of the Twins broadcast team. You were in exile on that road trip. And so Jack kind of got himself, well, he got his name in the newspaper, which wasn't his intent, but he suggested that Buchholz, with his arm coated with whatever the substance was on one arm but not the other, and he was doctoring the baseball, and that's why he was 6-0. I'm trying to set you up to contribute to the discussion.
I can't believe anybody would ever do something like that. Put a foreign substance on their arm. It was probably just heat. The atomic bomb or whatever pitchers use.
I thought that stuff that we put in our gas tanks here in Minnesota to keep the gas from freezing in our cars.
Maybe he could use that. Whatever's sticky, doesn't matter.
That's the extent of what you're weighing in on the whole topic then.
Well, whatever it takes. He's 6-0, is he not? Good for him. I tell you what, he pitched, I think, 2 or 3 times against the Twins in spring training, and he looked good.
Right. The Twins handled him pretty well. They did well early in the first couple innings against him. 1-1 here to Chris Snyder. Between that and the columnist.
Well, you know, I pitched with Gaylord Perry, so nothing surprises me.
Right. Between that whole situation and the Boston Globe columnist confronting David Ortiz of steroid allegations when Ortiz was hitting .450 or whatever he was hitting when we came to town. It was an interesting week for the Red Sox.
Well, they lost 2 closers, now a catcher maybe on the concussion list.
Fouled away.
But they're hanging in there. They lost today, but they're 22-16. A couple games behind the Yankees.
Tied with the Orioles coming into play today. They are losing. The Red Sox are 11-4. Indians have taken the lead on the Tigers 4-3. So potentially a big turnaround late in that game with Valverde spitting up a save opportunity in the 9th and somebody giving up a run in the top of the 10th. And we were in Detroit and you were in exile for that part of the road trip too.
I'm doing 100 games.
Bounce to the hole. Escobar picks it up. On target throw. That ends the 8th inning. It's 6-0.
And I won't be on the next road trip either. Detroit, have fun.
Target Field. I'm Jamie Hirsch, inviting you to stick around after the game for Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. We'll break down Baltimore's Bashers and how they were able to build a sizable lead for the Orioles. We'll also talk about Scott Diamond's day. Not quite his best outing so far. We'll break down some of his struggles with command today. All of that, and of course, hear from manager Ron Gardenhire after the game on Twins Live.
Thank you, Jamie, very much. Twins down 6-0 here. Coming to bat here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Brian Dozier leading off the 8th for the Twins against Darren O'Day. There's a first pitch fastball for a strike. In the 7th inning, the first pitch curve for a strike. I guess all that really matters is that you get that first pitch over and get ahead of the batters. That's one of many things that Scott Diamond struggled with today.
Yeah, we didn't see the best of Scott Diamond.
Bouncer to second. Casilla has it. One away.
And O'Day has come in and he has thrown strikes. 18 pitches, 16 strikes. You see him moving that ball around.
And the pink laces, pink seams on the baseball in honor of Mother's Day, breast cancer awareness. Mauer, the designated hitter, a single and a double in 3 trips. And the average at 341, and it's been on a steady climb for the last week and a half. The leader in the American League is still Miguel Cabrera with 376, a 376 average coming into play today. Then James Loney, 371. I suspect that those guys and Joe Mauer will meet somewheres, and there will be a batting race, and it will involve Joe Mauer again this year. For some reason, though, the strikeouts are up quite a bit for Joe. A strikeout every 4 at bats, which is about double the strikeout frequency that he has established in his career. Two and one.
Well, he's won 3 American League batting titles already. One in 2006, 2008, 2009. Came into this season a .323 career hitter. This is his 10th season with the Twins.
Three and one. Willingham on deck. And Mauer takes a walk. So the Twins get another base runner. And if the pattern persists, it automatically means Willingham will be retired.
Well, we haven't had a hit yet. We've had a hit in every inning.
Yeah,
so we're...
but I mean, every time the Twins get a batter aboard, the next guy makes an out.
Let's see if we can get a hit here. Josh needs a hit.
Average down to 202. Strikeout and a couple of infield pop-ups to Casilla. Off the plate, ball one.
O'Day, one of those relievers, usually just 1 inning is fine with Buck Showalter, but asked to go a little one more here after the short start by Chen. O'Day's longest outing, an inning and 2/3, came earlier this year in Tampa.
There is a first place tie in the American League Central. Cleveland's beaten Detroit, so each team now 20 and 15. Kansas City's losing to the Yankees, and the Twins need to come up with something here to make a game of it in the 9th inning. 1-1 to Willingham. A fly ball to left, and McLeod comes in fighting the sun again, and he can't make the play. Mauer to second. Willingham will take the hit, and for the second time in as many innings, McLeod is lucky the ball didn't hit him right between the eyes.
Well, and he's wearing the sunglasses. He's just taking a bad angle, I guess, at trying to keep that ball with not in the sun. He comes over, hustles over there, but again loses the ball. And again, he's lucky that that ball didn't hit him. Yeah, he has no idea where that baseball is, and it lands by his feet.
O'Day will be taken out. Morneau will hit against a new Baltimore pitcher when we come back. final look at our AT&T Twitter poll. This series in honor of the fishing opener. We've been asking you what's your favorite fish name in baseball, and the Hall of Famer Catfish Hunter wins our poll.
Good for Catfish. Nice man too. Well, Brian Mattis coming into the ballgame. He worked in yesterday's ballgame, pitched in the 8th inning, a 1-2-3 inning against the Twins. Mattis making his 17th relief appearance. And another very good ERA out of that bullpen for the Orioles. 13 in the 3rd innings, only 7 hits allowed. 3 walks, 13 strikeouts for Mattis.
Morneau will hit. Ripped a single off the limestone facing in right field. Struck out in the 4th, hit by a pitch in the 6th. Got a pitch in that he wanted to pull, and he fouled it over the screen. Good series for Justin at home. Looking to hit one out. This would be a good spot to do that in. Foul back. Mattis again delivering a pitch at the belt, and Morneau fouling it back 0-2.
Justin having a very good month of May.
Chance to drive in some runs here in the 8th inning. Fastball, foul tip, and Snyder hangs on. Mattis reared back and got another fastball past Morneau. Everybody, maybe including Justin, expecting the big breaking ball.
Yeah, Mattis a lot like Tommy Hunter, a guy that made some starts last year, but now in the bullpen for the Orioles. Number 1 pick for the Orioles back in 2008. Good arm.
Domino for 3. Hit a warning track fly ball as a right-handed batter. And some debris out in center field. Adam Jones picking it up. It's just an interesting contrast in projections and vibes here. Doman and Willingham hitting about the same right now. Willingham hitting 210, Doman hitting 216. But Doman's on the upswing and Willingham is struggling. So even though Doman's hitting just a few percentage points ahead of Willingham, Twins fans are pretty encouraged here with the way Doman's been swinging the bat. Something good could happen here.
Maybe that lost ball in the sun will get Josh going. He needed something good to happen.
2 strikes.
Long season, a lot of ups and downs throughout a baseball season.
Two strikes. Toward the hole, cut off by Machado, and he flips to second to retire the Twins. They leave 2 aboard this time in the 8th. CenturyLink to what's next. Ryan Presley coming out of the Twins bullpen.
Well, Ryan Presley's last appearance, his appearance he will never forget. Twins won that game 15-8 at Fenway Park. He picked up his first major league win. That was a game that Pedro Hernandez started off. He struggled, and Ryan Presley came in the third inning, pitched 4 shutout innings in that outing. A couple walks, 3 strikeouts, and got his first major league win.
He'll face the top of the Baltimore batting order. Markakis, Machado, and Jones.
In those 4 innings, Presley, as you can see, threw 66 pitches, so been given a couple extra days to get out here and work 1 inning here on Sunday afternoon, Mother's Day.
Fastball away.
Good job by Anthony Swarzak. Again, multi-innings needed. And Swarzak able to go 2 1/3 innings, not allowing any runs.
Popped up to center field. And Ramirez, if he sees it, will catch it. 1 down. That'll bring up Manny Machado. Machado with 3 hits today, 9 in the series, leading the league in hits right now, pending play in other ballparks.
Yeah, 54 hits and 162 at bats.
Popped up near second base. Dozier giving way to Escobar, who came close to tripping over the bag. 2 down. And it'll bring up Adam Jones.
2 quick outs for Ryan Presley. It's kind of cool for Presley because it was the Boston organization that the Twins ended up getting him out of as a Rule 5 player, and he ends up winning his first major league game against the Red Sox.
Jones with a line drive home run in the 3rd. And he hits a little nubber in front of the plate. Domick wants to handle it. And does. Boy, he couldn't do a much better job than that. 4 pitches, 3 outs. Twins fans had to feel pretty good coming into today. They had their ace, Scott Diamond, going. Twins lineup's been swinging the bats well, and Diamond had an off day. Twins lineup has had an off day, and that's why we are where we are, with Pedro Strop coming in, trying to protect the 6-run lead.
Yeah, Twins have been shut out only 1 time this year. That came on the hands of the Kansas City Royals in KC earlier this year. They would not want to be shut out, but Pedro Strop, who worked in last night's ball game, worked 1 shutout inning. had a couple strikeouts, hard-going right-hander.
Bloof, Parmalee, and Ramirez lined up to face Strop here in the ninth. Bloof with a hit. And he'll lead things off here. Last game of the year between the Twins and the Orioles. And barring a big comeback by the Twins, the season series will finish 3-3. Fastball. Missing. Ball one. And now a strike. Yankees beat the Royals 4-2. Irvin Santana with a loss for the Royals. We told you Cleveland came back, a run in the ninth, a run in the 10th. They beat Detroit 4-3. And the White Sox will host the Angels later tonight. Bounced foul. 1-2. Checked his swing, 2-2.
Strop, 27 years old, from the Dominican Republic, in his third season with the Orioles. Traded over from the Texas Rangers a couple years ago.
3-2 with Parmalee on deck. Hit it high in the air to left and run like crazy. McLeod's had some problems with balls in the sun. There's a called third strike.
Dropped a breaking ball on him. 6-0 lead. I'm sure Bloof looking fastball. And Strop on a 3-2 pitch. Inner half of the plate. Called third strike.
Kind of, sort of. So one down, and now Parmalee. Ball one. Fastball stuck on the outside corner. Popped up, short left. And Hardy stayed with it.
And McLeod ran away.
McLeod didn't exactly call him off, did he?
No, he didn't want no part of that.
2 down.
Even Adam Jones came running in from center field. He said, I can help you out, partner. Pop up. Just a short left field. J.J. Hardy see McLeod coming in, a little different angle, and then says, okay, you take it. I want no part of it.
By the time the ball was settling into Hardy's glove, McLeod had turned his back on him. I want no part of it. 2 down. Here's Wilkin Ramirez. A single and a lie down to third, and a pretty well hit ball to right. Strike on the outside corner. And a tapper foul, 2 strikes. Twins are down to their last strike. Here's Ramirez, and 294 batting average. Been the Minnesota's most commonly used pinch hitter. A couple of hits and 8 at bats. Has driven in 1 off the bench. Been able to play all 3 outfield positions. And that ends the game quickly. Ramirez waves at a breaking pitch. And the Orioles take 2 out of 3 in Minnesota after the Twins took 2 out of 3 in Baltimore.
Well, you know what? Twins didn't have much of an opportunity here to get back into the ball game. Orioles 3 home runs kind of took control of this ball game early on against Scott Diamond.
And so Tom Hanneman, the Twins will hope for a better and longer start through the Chicago series in all 3 games, as the Twins won 1 game out of the 3 here against the Orioles.
Dick, thanks. Baltimore records its 2nd shutout win of the season, holding the Twins down 6-0. Coming up on Twins Live, we'll talk about Baltimore's power at the plate and Scott Diamond's day. That's next on Twins Live.